Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Caitie.
And did you know that the very first Super Bowl was on January 15th, 1967, and was the Green Bay Packers versus the Kansas City Chiefs?
I did not know that.
Do you know who won?
I would guess the Packers.
The Packers did win. I think it was something like 35-10.
I feel like I read that somewhere one time.
Okay, maybe. You never know.
I don't know. I did watch a video the other day of the first Super Bowl halftime show.
From this game, then?
I guess,
maybe?
Or maybe it was in the first decade. Or
I was
something.
I didn't actually look up when the first halftime show happened.
It's extremely underwhelming, as you could imagine.
I always liked the Indiana Jones one.
Of course you did.
I mean, that one's pretty clever. That's hats off to that one. Except he kept his hat on because he's Indiana Jones. Exactly. All right. What should people do, Caitie?
You should go into the chat wherever you are. You should join us. You should also go. I'm so turned sideways on this. You should also subscribe wherever you are watching or listening or what have you, astral projecting. And then go to Daps HQ, which is dapsmagic.com/dapshq.
Correct.
I did it right, guys.
Progress.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
In like a million different time zones right now, and I still feel like I'm on a cruise ship.
There you go. And we are going to talk about the Super Bowl tonight, mainly the commercials, the things that happened after the Super Bowl, and of course, more on the Muppet Show, which we're all looking forward to, I think. Glad to see you guys like the studio. We're having fun with it. All right, let's get right into this. The Super Bowl spots from the Walt Disney Company, or at least the ones that we really cared about, started off with The Mandalorian and Grogu, which was a take on, I think, a Budweiser commercial, if we were all to be...
like a Budweiser Clydesdale?
Yeah,
but
even at the snow. So I'm assuming we went back to Hoth. I don't know. But why don't you describe it real quick and then share your thoughts?
It is The Mandalorian and it is Grogu. And they are like in a chariot thing being pulled by...
A space sleigh.
A space sleigh being pulled by...
Tauntauns.
Are those tauntauns?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why I think it's Hoth.
That would make sense.
Like, that was my logic. I'm like, oh, Tauntauns, Hoth, has to,
Well, you know the temperature inside a tauntaun. Lukewarm. So they're like, it's a whole motivational thing, like much like you would see from the Budweiser Clydesdale commercials of like, we have to like inspire ourselves and we have to go after it. And sometimes things that we can't feel the force. And it's like a 30-second
I think
spot.
it flat out says like sometimes the force takes things out of our control or something.
Yeah.
Like, it is great.
It's I think it's super fun. I saw a lot of people that really hated it. They were like, this is the first, like, we get a Super Bowl ad spot for The Mandalorian and Grogu, and this is what it is. And I'm like, first of all, Super Bowl, you only have 30 seconds. What?
Keep going.
Why did Itzy just say my name? I got scared.
I don't know. Just keep going.
But I think it's fun. I think it's cute. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very adorable.
I agree with you. I actually like, too, that before anything happened, when you hear the narration at the beginning, it's just snow. So you don't know if it's Star Wars or something. Like, it's not initially Star Wars, the first moment. The one thing I noticed was it didn't seem like it was the most expensive commercial for how much. And I think you could give it some lukewarm. You could give it some lukewarm credit for this because the music to me sounded a little synthy.
Sure.
Which maybe that's okay. I don't know. It's just not my preference. I kind of wanted it to be the same level as what we're used to with The Mandalorian.
Agreed. Because the music's an important part.
And then there was a couple moments where that looked digital to me, and we all know that is one of my cardinal sins, I think. And granted, it's just the commercial, so I kind of also am like, this probably is not even in the movie, so it's probably okay.
Yes.
Just watch. They go to Hoth, we find out. Maybe this was the biggest spoiler of, like, this is them going to the big fight at the end.
And then a portal opens, and they said, on your left, and all the women Star Wars come out, and they show up through their portals. I'm sorry. I have to clown on that sometimes.
See, and I thought you were gonna go like Star Trek Guardians or the Guardian of Forever, where the big portal opens and they go back in time and then they're able to fix it before, whatever.
Yeah.
Sci-fi likes the portal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's even the space portals in Star Wars to the time in between or whatever it's called. You need to watch more of the animated stuff. You'll get there someday. I'm
working on it.
I thought it was fun though. It was a good commercial. It was cute. It did what it needed to do. I don't know that it was a home run, so I can see where people maybe expected more. But I also didn't. I was like, I also didn't think it did anything wrong, and it was one of the few Super Bowl commercials we actually watched, because it turns out when you're on a cruise ship, and they're beaming the Super Bowl from satellite, there aren't commercials, and they just keep playing the same old commercial for the Masters. And I love the Masters.
The one for the Masters.
But I didn't need 60 commercials for the Masters. Like I was excited about it the first time I saw it. I was like, oh, this is great. Not really funny or anything, but it's great. And then they kept coming back, and I was like, this is not
the Masters. It was a commercial for passive income, like owning a property. And then there was one commercial break where we got different commercials, and we had hope for a second. And that was about if you're a U.S. resident and you're not living in the U.S., you can still vote.
It was very interesting. Anyway, we had to go watch on the internet. The other trailer that we did get to see was for Hoppers, and they're clearly leaning into the quirky and catchy. Is that good? Quirky and catchy is what I would say for this movie. And the more I see of this movie, the more I'm intrigued.
Okay. Because
I kind of was like, well, I feel like this has been done before, and they're fully acknowledging that it's kind of like Avatar. Like there were some things in there the originally, and I was like, okay, it'll be fine. But it does feel like they might not be afraid of being zany. Mm-hmm. And that tends to work for Pixar.
I'm excited.
Like, I think when Pixar plays it safe, it's usually not so great. And when Pixar goes, swings for the fences, whether it's for an emotional moment or humor, like when they go for it, nobody does it better than Pixar. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe this is one of those things that we haven't seen all of the zaniness, and this is going to be, I don't know, a surprise hit.
I think this is hilarious. I love the all the animals talking. I do feel like there is a Vine reference, because when the deer are talking, they're like, they live together, which to me was like oh my god, they were roommates. So there's that. But that's like everything I've heard out of the initial like watches of the movie from people is like, this is like crazy, and it's hit after hit, and it's like the thing where like Family Guy script has like 10 jokes a page. Like, I hope that that's what we get. It's just like crazy, like hit after hit. Because I think you're right. Pixar, when you think of like the top Pixar films, like we're talking Cars, we're talking Up, we're talking Toy Story.
I think you could say Toy Story 3 is when they really took the risk. Like, think of it from a risk perspective. Is like, where did they really go for it? Like Toy Story 3 at the end, I was in a theater a week after it opened, and the entire theater was sobbing. And
it's still a film that if you talk to a certain generation, like that is one of the most impactful emotional movies of a generation is Toy Story 3.
Yeah, like that one I just think is phenomenal. Monsters, Inc. I think is in that kind of category as well, and it's going to be really interesting to see if this becomes like, what if this becomes a franchise? Like, I hadn't thought of that till just this moment, because it kind of seems like it's a one-off, but you could also do more with this technology and go different places and have different reasons for doing it or whatever. And I'm assuming there's some sort of a lesson learned at the end, to be one with nature or something. But yeah, I can't wait to see how that works out.
I can't wait for the crossover at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Well, what it is you'll put on a helmet.
Exactly.
And
no, I'm saying like each exhibit is gonna have like a listen to what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to listen to what Baxo's saying. He's just a silly guy. He's just a fella, a dude.
And now I'm like, where would you put this? Because the place that I would put this is where Bluey is going.
Oh, well, I'm saying each exhibit would have one. Like, you'd have a cast member
so you could just walk. It could be like the new version of the Wilderness Explorers.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's the updated version of Wilderness Explorers. So you can hear the gorillas talking. You can hear the lions, all of that stuff.
And you also learn edutainment.
If you want a meeting, Disney, we're open for this. We can.
I don't even like ask for money for this. Like, I just think this is a great idea. So
we just asked for the interview afterwards. Yeah. Like, you have to come on and talk about the process on Geeks Corner afterwards of like, oh, we heard these crazy people on Geeks Corner talking about this and we thought it'd be fun. And then we get to have the exclusive first interview about the process of creating.
You wanted an interview with them. I guess that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to interview an animal.
Well, that could be part of the interview. I mean, we have interviewed cows before on Geeks Corner, so
I want to be
nothing's
like, no,
out of the realm
step
of possibility.
Aside. I'm going to interview this bird.
Well, we could talk to Egon. He might step aside and let you interview
Egon.
I mean, I know where some geese are. If you want to go interview them,
I'm scared of geese.
Just thinking of animals, I knew were easy access.
I'm scared of geese. I'm scared of turkeys.
Okay.
I'm actually scared of most birds. But I think that if I could talk to them, they would understand I'm pure of heart and they would love me.
Okay.
Much like Boxo the tiger. I actually think that...
What about like a parakeet? Like when you go to the pet store and they always have like hamsters, parakeets, and fish.
Like that time you had a parakeet for like 2 days?
Well, that too. I mean, I've had parakeets longer. Like when I was a kid, I had them a lot, like for years. They're great.
One time I became like a de facto aunt to a parakeet that I didn't know. It was very scary.
Nobody knew it. It came out of nowhere. All right. Let's keep moving on. Super Bowl time. More of that. As was always the case, at the end of the game, instead of saying, I'm going to Disneyland, it was, we're going to Disneyland.
That's the magic of friendship.
Yes. So MVP and quarterback from Seattle Seahawks, who won the game on Sunday, got to say those magnificent lines or that magnificent line. And then they were flown down to Disneyland, the whole, 30-minute flight?
Yeah.
45-minute flight?
Easy.
I don't know. Nothing. And they spent yesterday... Was that yesterday? Yeah, yesterday at Disneyland. Before we get that, what did you think of the commercial this year?
I think it's cute. I think that they were very excited to say we're going to Disneyland. And it was one of those ones I always think the opening shots are a little corny because it's like...
So it's one of the ones I wish I could produce it.
It's fair.
I would change things a little bit. I would change the music a little bit. Keep the song, different arrangement of it. I think you could make it even more powerful, and I would just make it bigger, I think is what I would do.
It's fair. And
I know there's that rush because you have to get it out in like an hour or something or 2 hours, but I think you could do it. But I liked it. It's fun. And they were legitimately excited to go to Disneyland, it seemed like. Yeah. And I thought that was fun. And I would love to have seen, after seeing the commercial, my thought is like, oh, I want to see these guys ride like Indiana Jones Adventure.
Yeah.
Like that would be fantastic. Or maybe fly the Millennium Falcon together.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did because they're really into this ride the attraction without reacting thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they filmed one of those and it's like in the can somewhere.
Which attraction at Disneyland would they do? Because isn't it usually that they're doing it with Tron Light Cycle?
No. They've done it for a lot of things.
They did do it on Indy, didn't they?
Aqueduct. They've done it for Indy. Like
You're
Darren
right.
Criss did it on Aqueduct. They did it on Indy. They did it on maybe Tiana's. Like they've done a lot.
That's true. That is true.
Also,
but I'd like to see it out now. Like we want it now.
I hope the Bears say it for you next year.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Da Bears.
I mean, the Seahawks are being sold anyway, so that's fine. It's a good cause. The guy who owned them before died. His sister's owning them, and her job is to sell the team off for charity.
Good.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's such a great story. heartbreaking was I'm sure he didn't know they were going to win the Super Bowl, but
yeah.
That's cool. All right, so then they go to Disneyland yesterday. They have their cavalcade. They go on the teacups, and
maybe the teacups was them filming a do not react.
It wasn't, because they were sitting there smiling and waving at people, and like my favorite part was somebody that wasn't related to the NFL or Disney or ESPN was filming from outside the attraction. Mm-hmm. And so you see them and they're like leaning back and having fun and waving at people. And then you see in the teacup next to them is like one social media person with her phone like this, just on them the entire time. And then you look over there and there's another, like, they had a whole team of social media people all on their phones. It was fantastic. And
that's what it takes to get the shot.
It was fun. Like, it was one of those things that a lot of thought was put into that process of like, oh, let's not get each other in the shot and let's get them, and we need both of them, and we need to be able to, like, I was very impressed with it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I also love the energy that comes to Super Bowl day at either Disneyland or Magic Kingdom, just because there's so many people that show up that you just don't know are fans. And maybe they're not even a fan of the team, they're a fan of the player or whatever, but the energy is always insane. It's almost rivals like New Year's.
Yeah.
And that's...
And there's confetti. And this year there was ESPN.
Yeah, ESPN handoff. And that's because ESPN is taking over production duties for the Super Bowl next year, which is fascinating because what that really means is the Walt Disney Company is taking over the Super Bowl next year. And they kind of jumped into this with this What's We're Going campaign. And they had this, I guess you could call it a trailer.
It was like,
and it had over 60 characters getting ready to go to the Super Bowl.
No Meet the Robinsons, therefore.
A year from now. But there's still time because there's more details and all of this stuff coming. And what do you think of this campaign? I don't know what to think of it.
I don't know what to think either. When I first watched it, I was so like, I think I had either just laid down to take a nap or I had just woken up from a nap, and I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. And I watched it and then I showed it to you and you were like, that doesn't make sense to me. I think the thing for me that's very hard is it's very jarring to see 3D, 2D, and live action all in like the same space. But I also think it's fun. I think it's fun to hear Woody and Buzz say that they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I think it's funny to hear Deadpool say he's going to go to the Super Bowl. We already saw Mickey and Minnie go to SoFi with some cute football costumes. So I think that this is going to be a fun thing, but I'm also not a football person. So like
So I'm hoping we see all of their character likenesses. So, you know, Lightning from Cars Land, Deadpool from Avengers Campus, whoever. This could be the ultimate halftime show. Like, you could have Darth Vader and Captain America in the same place.
Uh-huh.
They did it with Indiana Jones. Like, you could, like, this is the Walt Disney Company. They put on a better show than just about anybody else. In fact, they do put on a better show than anybody else. Imagine if they put all of that creative energy, couple it with whoever, like, I don't know who's going to be your halftime person, and like, you make it the biggest bash ever. I don't know. Who would you put? Like, who would you have as that center star? Or maybe it's multiple stars. Maybe you do Miley Cyrus and Sabrina Carpenter, like all of the former like Disney stars or something. I don't know
what he's saying either. It's okay.
How do you not know what I'm talking about?
I know
you just watched it.
I know what you're talking.
Oh, okay.
But we're saying we just watched the Bad Bunny halftime show.
Yeah, this would be a Disney version.
I know.
Like, you can kind of
it's a different production value.
It would be a massively different production value.
Yeah.
It would be a different approach to the creative process. No, I think it'd be awesome. All right, we're not going to talk about that anymore. All right, we are going to move on to something we all want to talk about, and that is the Muppets.
Thanks, Daddy. Mr. Daps. Thank you, Mr. Daps. Thanks, man.
We have gotten to watch the Muppet Show again and again and again and again. And it is fantastic. And as we promised last week, we're going to return to it for a more in-depth review this week. Hopefully you've all gotten to see it by now. And if you haven't, get on it because it needs the views so that we can get the actual season.
Yeah.
And
more.
I saw multiple times this week on Disney Plus. It was in the #1 slot for most watched, which is great. I heard it had a great opening night on ABC. And I was spitballing. I don't know. Like, you never know. Anyway, had a great spot opening night on ABC. And now that we've had a week to digest and process it, more thoughts, Caitie, on what did you think about The Muppet Show?
I think it is excellent. I just watching it again, like the amount of things, not that I missed, but like I didn't catch because it is such a jam-packed special. It's magical. It feels like the Muppets. Now with people that I don't even know how people catch these things, but the eagle-eyed fans that have spotted some of the things that have come from the parks that are in the special, like it's really fun to now go, look, I see it. It just has this unique charm that you can only create when everybody is fully 100% sold on the Muppets. And I think it's great. I also think Sabrina Carpenter was the best first guest they could have pulled out because she's so, like, she kind of is a Muppet.
Yes, and she's surprisingly charming with them. Like, clearly having fun. Like, you can see the best stars or guest stars in the Muppets are the ones that you can tell are having fun. And she clearly is having fun, especially with Miss Piggy. But like, there's even the joke of like with Kermit where they're like, well, she's like, I'm the same height or something.
Oh yeah, because he goes, oh, you fit right in. She goes, it helps we're the same height.
Yeah, and like, there's a lot of little subtle jabs that I really think they were smart with. I think it was also smart that they didn't keep it rated G. Like, it's a PG show, and probably,
as the Muppets should be,
as they should be, because you really do want to connect at all ages, and the kids that don't know aren't going to know, and the adults that do get are going to that was funny. And I think they really threaded that needle very effectively. And having caught more and watched it subsequently, like, I was very impressed at how they carefully took risks. And I hope that's something that happens more. And even as I'm thinking about, Josh D'Amaro, the new CEO, talking about how he's a risk taker, I'm hoping that translates down to Muppet Studio. And they're like, we're going to take risks with the Muppets. We're going to make a show. I liked that beyond just being a comic variety show, there is a little bit of a storyline, because I think that helps as well. And the thing I was thinking about the recent time we watched it is like, what other storylines could you do? And I really think there's quite a bunch of them that you could, it doesn't have to be all the same thing, and you could do seasonal things, and as they've done in the past. And
I think the thing that somebody said online, and I do really agree with this, is the thing that it would take to make this feel like really like this special did is if they didn't, pre-record 25 episodes or something. Like, keeping it in a tighter turnaround does make it feel more timely and relevant, and because the Muppets are very pop culture based. And so it does rely on like what is happening right now in the world. Obviously this was still filmed maybe 6 months or a year ago or what have you. But like having that relevancy, and the Muppets have a really great talent for being extremely relevant without being outdated, if that makes sense, because it's very easy if you watch Muppets ABC, actually. Again, I love Muppets ABC. I'm a Muppets ABC truther, okay? Watch Muppets ABC if you haven't, after you watch the Muppets and Sabrina Carpenter special, because we need more. But that has a lot of jokes that were very relevant and funny in 2015, and now you watch it and you're like, oh, I see why that was funny 11 years ago. As where the Muppets are very relevant, and they can make jokes about things that are happening now, but you don't go, oh yeah, that was a thing that was happening 11 months ago, or
because when you hear a Muppet say it, it's completely different ballpark. Yeah, I agree with that. I think they do a nice job, and they didn't push it too far. And like, I like that they use songs also that different eras are going to know. So like, there were songs that, you know, are popular today, and then there's other songs, 30, 40 years old. And
Islands in the Stream, I think, is like 70s.
So 50.
Don't Stop Me Now is like late 80s.
Like there's songs that dated back through different generations and are just loved by everybody. And I think it was a really smart move for the songs that they picked. And
I also think there is something incredibly magical about the Muppets putting together a show-stopping finale and it being all the Muppets together singing Don't Stop Me Now in the first like really great reboot we've gotten since the original Muppet Show ended. Like, how do you not feel a little something in your heart with like the Muppets saying Don't Stop Us Now? Like,
yeah, I think they totally nailed it. And they only hit a few of the segments. Like, there wasn't a true Fozzie moment. There wasn't a true, like...
There wasn't an At the Dance.
There kind of was, and there kind of wasn't. It wasn't an At the Dance. It was... But, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Pigs in Space could come back easily. Like, there's a lot of things they could do. True. And I thought Seth Rogen, like, honestly, if there's more, keep him exactly what he's doing. Like, yes, let him executive produce, but also let him act as the executive producer, because I thought that worked out really well. And
Maya Rudolph was also a really great celebrity guest.
Yeah.
Because she is also very Muppety in, like, everything she does. And I also thought it was funny that Muppets Newsman is like, Maya Rudolph is dead. Maya Rudolph is no longer dead. Like, she sells it. So...
Yeah, it was great. One of my favorite moments was towards the end with Seth Rogen, where he was sitting in the audience clapping for them and complaining that his segment got cut or whatever, and the Muppet next to him just reaches over and like pats his arm, and I was like,
funny.
It's so funny, and it's adorable, and it's just absurd all at the same time, which is what the Muppets do when they're at their best.
It's also the level of celebrities with the Muppets. Because Sabrina Carpenter was like, I am a fan of the Muppets. This is so fun. Maya Rudolph is like, I am a fellow Muppet. I just am a human. And then Seth Rogen is like, I am Michael Caine and I am with these Muppets. Like, we are, like, I take this very seriously. Like, what do you mean I got cut for an armadillo and a tutu? I've never seen that guy before. He's not even canon.
Such a great line.
Where the Muppets just...
It's okay.
Absolutely incredible work. I want to watch this like a million more times, and I am going to watch it a million more times.
It needs to happen so we get more. Absolutely.
I've only been wearing like Muppets merchandise for the last week. He can attest. I was packing and I was like, oh, I have this Muppet shirt and this one and this one and this one and this one. I'm going to throw it all in so people have, I was like, subliminal messaging. They're going to see my shirt, be like, oh, you know what I love? The Muppets. Disney just put out a new special with the Muppets.
But they didn't play it on the big screen.
I'm going to go watch it. Yeah, they didn't.
Okay.
I should have requested after the Super Bowl.
There you go. That totally would have worked. All right. Now it is time for one of our favorite parts of the night, and that is...
Comments!
That is right. It is time for comments. I see there are quite a few of them that we need to address as we go back. But as we scroll through the comments and react to them, feel free to ask any more comments or make any more comments or ask any questions, all of that stuff. And we will respond to those for the next few minutes as well. All right. I'm going all the way to the top. So Muppet Show could show up at the end of the Kenny Center where the show could be centered. Yeah, I think you could do a Muppets Great Moments in American History thing.
Great.
Love that idea.
History.
Would it have Muppet Show, Electric Mayhem tour? I would love if the Electric Mayhem went on tour. That would be one of the best things. I would love to interview them again too, because that would be amazing. Wait for current friends to find next celebrities. Yes. So who's your next celebrity guest?
Bad Bunny.
There you go. Okay. And mine would be... Who would mine be? I'm thinking.
Okay, we've said Steve Martin in the past.
Steve Martin's already been on it, I realized, so that's a no-go. I also feel like, following your lead, it should be a guy. Paul McCartney. That's a no-brainer.
I want to see Paul McCartney
Yeah.
with the Muppets bad.
I was like, that's actually my choice. Let's see. Speaking of Super Bowl, I remember it back in 2013. Baltimore Ravens defeated San Francisco. That is true. Studio. Thank you. We do like how the studio
Pedro Pascal
looks.
did eat. He also was in the Super Bowl twice because he was also in the halftime show and in the Mandalorian commercial.
It was like the commercial,
my
or
brain is literally rotting.
I literally was like, is there another one we don't know about? And okay, yes. We would love more Star Wars movies with John Williams music. I think everybody would love that.
I also think the fact that We Bare Bears creator is also the creator of Hoppers, because Itzy said that like 2 comments up.
Oh, I missed that one.
It's okay. Very exciting. Also,
I do think that gives hope though.
Yeah.
Like I think it keeps Pixar from becoming too formulaic, because there's always that risk when you use the same talent from the same studio that you end up, even with new ideas, they start feeling the same. And I do think it's good to kind of mix up that secret sauce a little bit, to add a little spice here and there. And I think, Disney does that, Pixar does it, and the more you do that, the better.
can't wait to find out what Indy is thinking. Easy. The inside of his head is just Titi me pregunto. That's all he listens to. It's actually kind of wild. Wait, there was a reference to Muppet Vision 3D in...
I pointed it out to you tonight.
No. Not the sign. Because I showed you the sign. When they referenced Muppet Vision 3D with Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker, I cried. What was the reference to... Nope, down. Caleb said it.
I think it was the
was it the sign?
I think it was the sign.
Okay.
Mano was cute. Feels like Disney's making similar mistakes to the marketing campaign for Solo. 3 months left. I'm curious. Like, I'm sure there's a plan for it, and part of it is you don't want it to get lost with everything else, especially when they had Avatar and Zootopia 2 that have just been crazy big in the theaters. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because we already have more for Doomsday. We have more for, I guess Doomsday is the big one.
I am really scared that there is going to be a scene where he's like, what's your name? And he's like, Mando. And he's like, Mando what? And he's like, I don't have anybody. And he goes, Mandalorian. Remember Solo when that happened? Mm-hmm. I think it's the silliest part of that movie.
I didn't love that moment either.
Han.
Yeah.
Solo.
I
loved it.
So I think I like your idea with Seth Rogen being a guest, but I also would prefer him staying as the executive producer so he can be in more shows.
I also really like the idea of the bit being that Seth Rogen's bit keeps getting cut. Mm-hmm. They keep saying, Seth, we've made time.
And the real payoff would be as if they don't give him a payoff at the end of the season.
Exactly.
Because I think the natural inclination would be like, oh yeah, at the end of the season, he actually did get the thing.
Oh no.
And I think the way you do it is you don't, and then you're left hanging. I'm like, well, hopefully next year. And then it turns out Seth Rogen doesn't even come back, and it's Nathan Lane instead. I don't know. It just popped into my head.
You would.
Paul McCartney being another guest star on the Muppet Show. I agree, Paul. Yeah, Paul could perform with the Electric Mayhem. It'd be fantastic. Or with Rolf, because he does a lot of solo stuff. So it could be kind of a fun, acoustic and piano moment.
Ooh, Rolf playing 1985. Mm-hmm. Like that piano bit. Oh.
Like there's a lot of stuff you could do with that would be very fun. But we will have to keep those in mind for next time, because we are running out of time. So, Katie, what should people do?
You should go to dapsmagic.com, check out all the Disney and positive stuff as it happens. Subscribe to our mailing list so you don't miss any of it. You could also go to dapsmagic.com, /DapsHQ. Join our super secret fan club, super secret like friendship club. We make friendship bracelets sometimes. We have code names, like it's fine. We do a post show to the show, and that's, I don't have any brain cells left tonight, so this is gonna be super fun, I promise.
Yeah, you can watch Daps After Dark on Daps Magic HQ, because that is what we do after this, and you never know what's going to happen there, and it's kind of funny when Katie's like this, so we will see. Anyway, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We've got a ton of videos that are going up, including the Super Bowl commercial is already up. The Super Bowl Cavalcade on Main Street is already up. And I think we have a Vocal Soul video going up tomorrow, if I remember correctly. But that is all the time we have for you this week, so we will see you around the corner.
Bye.